We come into Season 6 with lofty ambitions. We come into Season 6 of MFL shooting for the stars, trying to be quite ambitious as well by not loaning our players from our agency out into the game, but keeping them, getting an academy squad to field them in, try and get some progression, try and earn some more MFL by keeping those guys rather than loaning them out, as well as doing the same for our stars, the guys at the very top of our agency, our highest valued players, keeping them in our squad in a bid to finally get promoted out of Iron, as well as launching our community team. The FC Barcelona members on the channel here, the season ticket holders, had their squad that filled up with all of their players that were going to give away over 5,000 MFL to those channel members for their support this year with the players they gave us, and we'll see how all that kind of shook out. But we have had the penultimate match day on MFL, and I am pleased to announce, I am pleased to confirm that FC Barcelona's Academy has won the Spark Division and FC Barcelona Prime has won the Iron Division. We are getting automatic promotion. We have won our first title and we are going into the Bronze League. And for me, this is the real kind of line in the sand where once you get into the ones that are made of metals and stuff like that, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, that's the big leagues. That's the real, you're kind of coming out of the conference now and into the Football League pyramid, as it were. So exciting times ahead of Season 7. In the video today, we'll recap what we did in Season 6, lessons that were learned, strategies that were deployed, the success we had, any missed opportunities, all that good stuff. If you're brand new to MFL, it's basically a football manager open network experience game where every player you play against is a player. There's no computer games, there's no AI in this. Every opponent you play against as another player, and because it is an open network game, this isn't a game that brings out a new issue of it every single season. It runs on real time because you're playing against other people in the network, as it were. Seasons run for around 6 weeks. We have just came to the end of Season 6, and now as we prepare for Season 7, this is one of the most optimal times to get into the deep end and start playing MFL if you're just finding this game for the first time. By opening your account, by clicking on the link that's in the description in this video, you'll get yourself all the best beginner bonuses that are available, as well as directly support me and all the content here at the channel. If you're after beginner tutorial content, that'll all be linked in the description of the video as well, so feel free to check that out. But yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it, because my agency, FC Barcelona, whatever we're going to call it, has been on this platform now for 6 seasons, and we've had some highs, we've had some lows, we've exceeded the expectations through promotions a bunch of times as well, but the only trophies that my club has brought in has been individual awards for golden boots and golden gloves and that sort of thing. And with FC Barcelona Prime securing its status at the top of the Iron Division, we have brought in our first piece of club silverware, and this was a real topsy-turvy season. We were projected coming into this year to win the league, to be the best of the bunch, but this was a very tight division. As you can see how the points have shaken out, we still have 1 game left to go. I'm playing one of the bottom teams, so it should be a somewhat formality, and we've got the points that we're, it doesn't matter, we're done, we've won the league and we're absolutely cruising. But it was very tight. We did lose 4 games and draw 4, so there was some moments in the season where it might not have went the way it did. The boys had to show resilience. I was scouting opponents in this league for this team for every single match, trying to tweak the tactics, trying to optimise the personnel that I had in the team, and overall we put together some great winning runs, and there was some opportunities missed, particularly in the cup. Getting to the quarterfinals was cool, but it would have been nicer to go on and, do the cup and league double. That would have been pretty lovely. And for winning the league, we're going to be getting 22,000 MFL, which is a great uplift. Last year we finished 4th, I think, didn't we? So we got 14. That's an increase of 8,000 MFL. And for some of you guys that have been here all season long, you'll know that is pretty much the deficit of loaning out Hamad Nasser into silver or keeping him. So by keeping Hamad Nasser, who looks all but set to win the golden boot against Sean Williamson, who in our last match we beat Metaverse Wizards 4-3, and this was a golden boot shootout. Nasser versus Williamson, a real topsy-turvy match. Nasser has already won the golden boot for this division, but this match really epitomised everything throughout the season. We had some strong opposition, our defence was good without being great, and if you're against top forwards, they do punish you. But my team, I'm so confident in it, man for man, even the depth, that we've got good quality options, that even losing the first goal, it does kind of hit your confidence. But when you reply so quickly like we did in this one, I didn't want to give it up. If we lost this match, it would have been a real nail-biter going into the last game of the season. But Hamad Nasser really put the team on his back here. And like I say, this was a bit of a shootout for the golden boot. A lot of potential goal of the season candidates in this one as well. But being away from home, or being at home, certainly has its advantages in this version of MFL, and I really felt it in this match when not only did Williamson equalise here, but he actually put them in front. And when you're losing a game on the 70th minute, you don't have much optimism you're going to come out with the 3 points. I was really starting to pray and to hope that we would at least scrape a draw from it. And on the 77th minute, Hamad Nasser did bring us back into it. But although I was biting my nails watching this game and I didn't really know what way it was going to go, when that ball hit the back of the net, I was, yes, as long as we drew this game, we didn't lose it. Retaining the title, as long as nothing crazy happened elsewhere, was going to be pretty nailed on. And because of how tight this division was, I was just buzzing. I was like, please don't concede any goals. Can we go on to get the winner in this game? And this was a roller coaster of emotions, more so than any other match this season, despite the highs and the lows that we've had. And to have a one-man show and Hamad Nasser really step up in a big way was very pleasing to see. He's set to pick up that golden boot like we mentioned, so fingers crossed that happens. I might be in line to get should be in line to get my first passer, my first assist award here, either between Van der Casas. I'm going to play both of them in the last game to make sure one of them gets it, hopefully, failing any miracle from one of those guys behind them. And I'm going to rotate my goalkeeper out in the last game as well and hope that Homan here can hang on to it. The last game really hammered his averages, so I don't want to take the risk of playing another game and it takes it away from him. So if we could get a clean sweep of awards in this division as well, the title, the golden glove, the Playmaker Award, the Golden Boot. What a historic season this would be for FC Barcelona. When we come to look at the academy, again, where we're projected to win this league, it's not much of an achievement to beat all these teams with the squad I've got, granted, but we did run close. We didn't lose any games in this division, and if we did, it would have been a very tight title race between me, Bochum Steel and Atlas Lions. Thankfully, I only drew 2 games, one against Red White Valley da Costa, which is this team here, and we drew against somebody else earlier in the season. I don't suppose it matters too much. We didn't get out the group in the cup because we're playing against much stronger teams, of course. But this league win is going to pick us up an extra 2,500 MFL, which kind of breaks even on a lot of the players we didn't loan out. I think we would have slightly made more on this squad individually had we loaned some of them out into ice and whatever, but next year I think that will pay itself back with the whole squad now being in ice. It's kind of a multi-season play with the agency there. No golden boot for Fleming, no passer award in this division either, but it looks like we're going to get another golden glove award for Benitez, which is good fun to see. And I mean, I'm very interested and excited to see how this team does next year in the ice division, but MFL have just announced that they're going to be launching a Flint competition. So at some point, I think I want the Flint trophy to be in, same as I did want the Spark one, to be in the FC Barcelona trophy cabinet. So maybe not next season, maybe not season 7, but maybe season 8, we can have another academy team maybe bubble under the surface and start in Flint and work its way up behind the academy that we've got here. One of my main concerns for my own players this year, particularly those good ones that were going into Spark, as well as some of the better ones we were keeping in Iron, because of the ages of some of them as well, is how much progression will we actually get this season. And across, we've also got a lot of guys in Dev Centre here that have done well, but even if we skirt by them, all of our top players did very well this year. Casas became a legendary, our first legendary in the club. And a lot of these guys in their 29s, 31 kind of range we got some nice progression for as well. Some of the better players that were in Spark also progressed. We got some tier breakers. We got some guys making some nice movement. You're good at Abba, getting a +5 on shooting, for example, makes him even more interesting for ice for next year. And like I mentioned, some tier breakers and all the rest of it. Before we get down here to some of the guys that just benefited on some individual statistics, but again, I'm seeing a lot of players getting progression this year, which I think is a very positive sign. But where this will stand me now for my agency is any of the players in the academy team that we think won't be able to make the step up into ice, I will be selling on the secondary market. I don't think I'll be retaining them and loaning them out. I think this is where we're going to cut off the squad. Or do we buy a Flint team and just filter them back down again, maybe? Maybe something to chew on, because that development has just came to us essentially at point of recording. But for the most part, I see myself kind of shedding a layer of depth here and then just kind of ironing in a bit more into ice next year with the core of the squad that we had from last year. With all the MFL I'm going to be pulling in, I am going to be doing my best to pick up a rare pack of some description for next year to try and reinforce the bronze squad that we'll have for next year. I think I'll be retaining almost everyone in this squad that we have, Bodnarenko, who's 72, Faustino, who's 73, are kind of on the bubble. We might look to replace them. If we get pack luck, we won't need to actively do that. But midfield was very well balanced this year. Rotation wasn't a problem because of the wing options we had, the different strikers. So I'm actually quite happy rotation-wise. I've got a squad that will be able to ride the waves of a season. We're taking a massive step up in trip, massive step up in class. That's maybe the only unknown element here. But in terms of headcount, the squad is around 20 players. Yeah, I think 20 players is a nice kind of sweet spot to be at. And because we've still got 5 squad spots available, I think next year I might need to loan some additional players in to just beef up the quality of the squad so we can be extra competitive in bronze. But part of the agenda with this team was to get it to be 0% rev share, or to be 100% rev share, depending on how you want to think of it as. And I felt that was a great kind of feather in the cap of the achievement this year, and I would want to delay that until absolutely necessary, I think, coming into next year. But I'm quite level-headed. I've been promoted before and been surprised by the step up in class, and I'm prepared for that surprise to come again. Now, the talk of the town, the talk of the community has been the Ravens, the FC Barcelona community team that we made up with the channel members here on the squad, where I am making absolutely nothing on this squad. 100% of the rev share is going out to channel members who pay their £1 a week, £4 a month. We do lots of MFL content for the channel members, as well as give them access to this Stone Club to get their players in to get some rev share from, as well as a bunch of Sorare content as well in the channel membership. But as you can see here, some very generous percentages for some of the lower ranked players in particularly, and some very generous ones for the club for some of the higher rated players, to some of the bigger accounts we have in the community. So to everyone that loaned a player in, thank you very much for your contribution this year. I hope you are all happy with the rev share, because we had a pretty good season. The team was projected to win the league, but I think, as you see, with one game to go, how tight it was in the end. We were just missing a little bit of something, and we could have been in the promotion conversation. We could have been in the picture for that if we had a bit better of a balanced squad. We did just kind of throw it together. It was a real Frankenstein effort for the most part. And one of the main concerns that I had this year for you guys was, how would progression look for a team like this? You know, would we actually see good progression for the better players? Would the worst players maybe be able to be brought up to a level or whatever? And we kind of got a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. Looking at the current season progression, we see that the top guy, Pasquier, one of the players of the season for us, got a massive +3. He joined us as a 76 and has been up to 79 rated, which is massive. +11 on physical is absolutely eye-watering, as well as +7 on passing. Pasquier has done very, very well here at the Ravens. But one of the stories of the year was Van der Zee, a guy that we brought in at 64 rated, who got a +4 on being a cam, on being an attacking mid. He still gets that +4, which at 67 rated now is extra sweet. He was one of the best finishers in the team. His finishing went up further. All of his stats had amazing increases in them. And as a 64 rated player in Stone for Toxic Lightning Club Z, this was a great success story that hopefully you guys can see, and maybe it encourages you to get some of your players into the squad for next year. Mortier and Goddard were ever present, did well, progressed well enough throughout the year. But Al Farahiche, we had a massive tier breaker right at the end of the season. This is a guy who's physical and his defensive stats at 39 and 25. When we debuted him early in the season, he was just too weak, he didn't really get going. But by the back end of the year, I don't know what it was, maybe it was just different combinations of players to play him alongside, but he was a match winner for us. He really wrote some headlines in the back half of the season, and he got his tier breaker, which was brilliant to see that we were able to do that for him. And then in and behind that, we've got some nice +1s on statistics and stuff like that, some nice +1s on overalls, which is good. Even for some of the lower ranked players, a 57 becoming a 58, for example. And across the board, there's a bunch of other guys here who have played significantly across the year that has had some nice levels of progression on some individual statistics. Over the course of the year, the goalkeeper played the most amount of games for us. The defence and the strikers were quite consistent in terms of we knew who the best guys were, and we did our best to get them in the team. But there was only 2 players that didn't feature for us at all. 47 rated utility defender and a 56 fourth choice striker. So good to see that those guys got some rev share. Sadly, we couldn't get them many minutes on the pitch, but we did have to play this backup goalkeeper twice, and he actually got 2 clean sheets. 58 rated goalkeeper in Stone, couldn't believe it. And all these guys that played 2 games, 4 games, 6 games, they all had significant parts to play in the season as a whole. So although we didn't quite get into that promotion picture, we weren't too far off it, and considering the level of player we were using in the squad, I think we've done pretty damn well. Our top goal scorer is Lira with 8 as it stands at the moment. I didn't really feel that he really got his shooting boots together here, and the goals were quite well spread out, and there wasn't really that many of them. We were a bit goal shy in this one. In the assist category, it was maybe a bit more pronounced. We had some good chance creation and good assist makers or whatever. Pasquier leading the list there. Van der Zee on goals and assists, by the way, at 7. Puts him in the top 3 for goal contributions in the team, which is lovely to see for what started off as a 64 rated player at the beginning of the season. So next year we're going to be in stone again because we're not getting promoted. We're more than likely going to finish in 6th position, which is 5,700 MFL being distributed to all the players that filled into the squad this year. And next year we're going to be doing the same thing again. I want the ticket holders, the members on the channel, to get their players in. I don't want to send out auto renewal requests on these guys because maybe you want to sell them, maybe you want to use them, but we will be opening the doors for pre-contracts. So if you are a channel member, feel free to leave a comment down below of any players you want into the squad for season 7. We'll follow up with this with some member content as well, of course, as in the Telegram group. But, the doors are open now, as it were, to get the team filled up for next year. And with us being a bit better rounded, I feel that next year we could win more MFL for you guys to get paid out for. And we might even get some glory. We might even get promoted if 1 or 2 of the chips are to fall in the right way for us. I had a lot of fun with the foundation. I scouted all the opponents as well, tried to move our formation to make sure we were competitive against the field, but this team was had one hand tied behind its back for options, so we didn't always optimize that to the best of our ability. But 7 games won, 5 draws, 7 losses. We're just with 26 goals scored. We just never scored enough goals, really. I think it's quite a safe assumption. But we played lots of different shapes. We got some great minutes and some great progression for a wide range of rated players. And in the Stone League, this is a great way for you to get some extra MFL into your end of season payout by loaning. As you've seen, we had 58 rated goalkeepers. No matter who you've got to give up, if you're a channel member, there's 25 spots in this squad for you. We did pretty damn amazing, I think, with this Frankenstein squad, and I'm looking forward next year to maybe the Frankenstein being a bit stronger, being a bit better balanced, but all the same, I think we've got good form for going up another level tactically and payout wise in season 7. Last year we scooped up about 29,000 MFL from end of season payouts from loans and league competitions and cup runs and all the rest of it. I'm expecting to outdo that. I'm expecting us to clip in the early 30s, which would be great progression. And next year we'll be in higher divisions. So I'm expecting now the FC Barcelona kind of organic growth within the game to start snowballing really quickly now for my prime team and my academy team. There's going to be a lot of work to get done ahead of season 7, preparing to go up that level in bronze, preparing the foundation team for another stab at stone. And honestly, I'm really excited for it. Season 7, I think, is going to be absolute fire. And I'm looking forward to seeing more contributions from you guys in the member section into the foundation channel itself, and hopefully with the actual real life time of the year or whatever, next season we can do a lot more watch along content with the key matches of not just the community team but kind of my team fighting up in bronze. If we can upset the apple cart up there and maybe punch above our weight like we normally tend to do in these kind of post-promotion seasons that we've had before. Let me know in the comment section how your season went. Did it fall below expectations? Did you exceed expectations? What are your plans for the off-season, and how are you shaping up going into season 7? On screen there now some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this as well, of course. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Moan the champions, Barcelona, come on!